Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit the ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, let's take a look at the Bitcoin market as we do on Mondays. Start as usual from the weekly chart. So currently guys, actually the Bitcoin shows a lot of patterns in all time frames, starting from the weekly down to the intraday charts. But the overall situation stands so that we already have completed our preparation for possible action, because the patterns that we see right now we have discussed in last week and have made already the preliminary steps to possess ourselves for possible action. Now the situation on the Bitcoin stands so that we need just to wait when the market will either confirm our suggestion and start action in our direction, or will show an ability to do this, forming the reversal, and gives us the sign that will be kind of the failure and we should reverse our position. So on the weekly chart, in the recent 2 weeks we do not have much changes, because take a look, actually markets forming inside sessions. So that was yesterday, the last week's session was really very funny, as you can see. Small inside session to the previous section, and all this stuff stands inside of the triangle consolidation of market showing narrowing swings. So this was large swing, this swing is smaller, this is even more smaller, and right now we're turning to very tight range action. When the market shows the narrowing price behavior, it keeps chances on both directions, because you could suggest as the upside target in the shape of the butterfly upside pattern, as to the downside in the shape of some the ABCD pattern, some kind of the garbage triple to buy and so on. So everything is possible right now, and from that standpoint weekly chart hasn't changed. What is more important is that our grabber pattern that has been formed here is still valid, and it suggests the taking out of the stop. This is important, and that thing that we'll also keep in mind. Now let's turn to the daily. On the daily, everything stands also very nice and bullish, so you can see that the grabbers that we have discussed last week still stands valid, as market stands above these lows. So actually this bullish setup will be valid until market holds these lows, until grabber stands valid, and these grabbers suggest the taking out of this stop. So in fact, in turn, we could get kind of the hand shoulders pattern here. So also we talked about it, and correspondingly this ABC bottom, some D pattern 1150 target. That's in the beginning. What will happen after that so will depend on the fundamental background what we have, because you know that in the third quarter the backed product should be started by the ICE exchange, and everybody already is trying to catch some rumors around this. So if you remember, recently was a huge transaction in the Bitcoin market, and many traders suggest that this transaction has a relation to starting and testing of the backed futures actually on the intercontinental exchange. So this is really a very big event that markets are waiting for, because this will open the road for institutional investors. So we talked about it in our fundamental updates, and we tracked this this event also carefully. So on the daily also we have nothing really new. This bullish setup that we have discussed last week still stands valid, and we keep watching for it. On the 4-hour time frame chart, the pattern that we have discussed also stands in place. This is our head and shoulders on the slope of the right arm. Market has formed a few bullish grabbers that also suggest the taking out of this top, so market could continue to move higher. Anyway, this pattern will be valid until market stands above the bottom of the right arm. Only if market starts dropping here, taking out of these lows, this will mean that this hand shoulders is failing, and it will mean the destruction of the whole bullish setup, because failure at the right arm will suggest the taking out of these lows, breaking below the bottom of the head. That is the classical failure of the head and shoulders pattern. Dropping below the head consequently leads us to, this is weekly chart, this is daily, leads us to drop below the 9 even area. That's the head actually of the pattern that we are talking about. Dropping below the 9 area will lead to the breakout of these lows, because this is already the third test of this area, and in the next test this will be last test, and market will break it down, and that finally will lead us to the 75 target. So that's why the bottom of the right arm around 10 even 98, it's very important area. So we need to keep an eye on. So if you have taken long position, your invalidation point stands right here. Now, as market really has shown the pullback here, you could move your stops to the break-even and just see what will happen. So that's what about the 4-hour time frame chart pattern. On the hourly chart, we're turning to the minor pattern, smaller. That was the second chance for taking the position, if you remember. So we talked about it on Friday, and we said if you have missed taking a position here, because the head here, actually this is the right, the bottom of the right arm on the 4-hour time frame chart. So take a look. It's not very comfortable to watch on the hourly chart, but I will show you. That's our large hand shoulders, and that's the bottom of the right arm. So we said if you have missed taking position here, because that was the butterfly, if you remember, we talked about this. On Friday we talked about the second chance. Keep watching for these minor hand and shoulders, because it also provides you a chance to go long round 10 and the 15 area, somewhere in this level, 10.13, 10.15. So that's where the bottom will be. And indeed, this setup has worked nice, and you can see the market showing the pullback right here. So if you have taken position based on this pattern, you also could take move your stops to the break-even and see what will happen. So as you can see, as I said in the beginning of the video, we have done all the preparations for possible trading. So positions are taken. We just now move stops to the break-even and watching what really will happen. Because the trade is not over yet. If market will drop below the right shoulder here, it means that it will break down the head, and that in turn will again return back to the picture of the 4-hour time frame chart, and in this case it will mean that this will be breakout of the right shoulder. So these levels are very important, and as soon as if we will get the breakout, we should act very fast, and we should turn our position in the opposite direction. So if you are not ready for that mentally, you could just close your positions, or if your stops will be triggered, just do nothing, watch what will happen, because that will be very serious consequences if market will break it down. So that's our view on Bitcoin market. Let's see what the progress we will get.